Sorry, Jonathan.
No problem, no problem.
Five minutes remaining, 5 minutes left.
Alright, let's get a mic check. Can we do a mic check here? I need to check, make sure audio levels are good before we jump into this race. Let's see. Alright, cool. Everything's looking good, or sounding good, rather. Alright, let's try to get some practice laps in. Oops. I believe we should have our setup. Ah.
Pit lane speed limit is 45 miles per hour.
Alright, cool. Let's get out here and practice with some of these guys that actually know how to get around.
There's a car approaching, stay behind the line.
I think it'd be good. Oh, there's Dave. Let's see what Dave's doing. It'd be fun to go around track with Dave. Oh shit. Oh, off track. Alright. I need to be careful with those off tracks. Oh fuck. I didn't even slow down so much there.
Right side. He's still there. You are clear on the right.
Who's this? Bath? I don't think I recognize that guy's name. What I don't like is I can't really see on the relative. This stupid angle that camera I have on. It's not exactly.
Right side's clear.
Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go.
Car on your right. He's still with you. Right side's clear.
Yeah, I'm gonna struggle. These guys definitely got pace. Okay, is that the pit right there? That was good to know because I had no idea where the pit entrance was at all.
Left. Keep your line. He's still there. Left side's clear.
You're running
Let me
last.
see if I can
Come on,
follow this
trick.
guy. What is everybody running? That's what I'm curious about. Uh-oh, where did everybody go? Oh shit, I have low latency. That's not good. Okay, I need to remember not to slow down there.
Do a quick mic check.
Loud and clear.
There's an incident in Zone 5. Looks like it's Tim.
Thank you.
Oh shit, off track. Damn it.
Track limits.
I need to make sure I have a good internet connection because I have latency issues right now. I don't know what's going on.
Left side. You are clear on the left.
local tax experts are here. Now you can meet with a TurboTax expert in your community. They can do your taxes for you and get you every dollar you deserve. Local tax experts are here. Hand off your taxes with confidence.
That's the end of the session. B25.
Oh. Well. Let me get this,
No drift for the worry.
that sucks. I'm gonna struggle, you guys. This is not good.
Good luck, everyone.
Where is, the internet? Okay, sorry about that. Oof. See if we can get my man's Steven's name fixed in here while we're here. He's got a long name. It's alright. Trying to fix him up. Quali. Okay, Quali started, bro. I am gonna struggle. I am gonna struggle. Let's see. Whew. Alright. You know what I don't have? A Quali setup. Let's try that out. Let's go. How do I do a Quali setup? Just go less fuel? What gives me 3 laps? Garage. And then we'll do what? How do you do this? Chassis? Where's fuel? Petrol. Tires, aero. Where is your fuel, bro? Fuel level. Okay. So if we go here, I don't know. Let's go 3 gallons, I guess, just to get the weight down. And then what we'll do is we'll apply it. Okay. We'll apply it, I guess. I don't know. I just need to remember to change it back. I don't know if this is smart. 3 gallons, is that enough? It should be enough, right?
Okay, Patrick, we've got 3 laps to get the job done, mate.
We'll see. I don't know my way around this track. And it doesn't look like it doesn't look too technical. It just, there's a lot of elevation changes and I'm not used to it, so yeah, like just right there, like I wanted to slow down when I didn't have to, so I need to get that out of my system. It's alright.
The leader's just done a 128.75. The leader has just done a 128.31.
I should have watched like a track video, like a tutorial, but okay, so here I know I want to go think third and kind of come around this easy and maybe hit the brakes there to get this turn down into first, I believe. So get around
The
this
leader
cross.
has just done a 127.75.
Wow, 127. Where's my relative at? That's what I need to see. I don't see my relative bar anywhere. Or my, what's that thing called? Damn it. Yeah, I need my relative. That would help out a lot. Alright, so here I'm not gonna slow down. Even though the elevation change throws me off, just send it and come up to like this second braking marker here, that 100, I think. And kind of throttle control it. Do that turn. Alright, here, where are we going? Send it through here. I think we could just send it. And here's where we want to slow down. I probably slowed down too much, but it's okay. We'll use that as a banker lap, I guess. Damn. Yeah, this is gonna be a wee bit difficult for me. I'm gonna be struggling here, to say the least. That didn't count?
20. We think you'll be out of fuel on the next lap.
Oh, fuck. Why didn't it count? Like, I hate that it doesn't tell you where.
Okay, Patrick. In this lap. Box this lap.
P20, that's not good at all. It's alright. We'll see if we can push a little bit harder, I guess. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Push too hard. That's what happens. Idiot. Dumb, dumb, dumb. He said... Hey, Bill, what's up? The league race. I messed up that turn bad. Now I'm down at 21. Oh no! I exceeded track limits, didn't I? Damn it. There's the pit entrance. I'm gonna mess that up. I might do an early pit stop, or at least try to plan for it, because I don't know how. That sucks. I did a bad run, y'all. Damn it. And it says it didn't even count.
23. That was a 131.75.
Alright, let's get out of here. Let's try to fix this real quick, because I'm struggling. This is not going to be good.
Sides of the racing circuit spectrum, and then we head off to Alton Park, Suzuka Circuit, Road Atlanta, and a finale here in Series 15 of the Porsche Club of America
race,
Sim
no
Racing
practice.
Series on April the 23rd.
Yo, what's up with the internet, bro? I just got this internet
some
redone.
points to take a look at. Brad Dunn
Oh, it's
is
on
your
Wi-Fi.
current championship points leader
Hold
at
up.
350 points as his current tally. Vernon Messer is slotted in P2 at 320. Leon Snyman is in third with Kenneth Eskridge in fourth. John Kaplan in P5. David Sauntry in 6th, Jeffrey Block in 7th, Dave Jones in P8. James Legault is classed in 9th with Robert Gales rounding at your top 10 at the moment. Still very
Look
early
at Dave.
doors into the season.
Dave's
Can't
killing
read
it,
into these
bro.
points too much. However, once we get this race taken care of here this evening, we're going to be officially a quarter of the way through this season, so we'll have a better idea as to who are going to be the main drivers looking to bring the Thunder here in Series 15. But here with the Thunder Down Under, taking a look at some rather moderate track conditions, which is rather surprising. You know, usually Australia, everything down there in Australia
Why is my
wants to
virtual
kill
mirror
you,
not
but
on?
right now the track conditions really don't.
Shit. Display.
Nice to have conditions that aren't going to ask too much of the tyres around here, and even quite a low wind speed, too, which is going
I
to
don't know
matter
why
quite
my
a lot
virtual
on that
mirror
track
wasn't
with
even
lots of
on.
high-speed turns, I imagine. Because all the turns do take so much out of the
Okay,
tyres,
Raj.
you really don't want to overheat them. You
put
really
our,
don't want to lean on the ABS quite too
nice
hard.
setups.
Other drivers wrapping up their qualifying laps now, of course, using the GT3 cars this season around, so they do have a little bit more grip than we're used to, and that will help tackle some of these turns.
All right, 18.5 gallons. I think that's 70%.
Yeah, so with these massive GT3 machines, massive compared to the open wheelers that I know are usually my bread and butter behind the wheel, they can smack the curves, but be a little bit worried about some of them around this racetrack. Can be a silent but deadly killer here. We'll have to find out how this is going to work out. This is Joseph Birkenstock, currently qualified in 13th at the moment in the 670 car. Nice to see the Lego machine out there on the racetrack. Second off of the provisional pole that Chris Drankovitz is holding on to at the present moment. Leon Snyman set to join
1
him
second
on the front
separates,
row. Jeffrey Block is slotted in third with Harpreet
11th or
Bath
1st?
slotted in fourth at the moment for
Not
Messer and
bad.
Brad Dunn. Complete your top 6. But right now, only 10 seconds left to go in qualifying. It looks like Drankovitz may have this one in the bag.
Going to be a lot of cars getting
Hello,
through
drivers.
this track. And
Welcome
I
to
often
the warm-up
see
drivers
turn
meeting
four
for
happen
the
on the first
second
lap. There's
series
a little bit of
15
a
race
conflict zone when
at
people miss the
Phillip
braking
Island
zones
Circuit.
over it. So let's see if we
I
can
wish
get
you
them
all
all
the
through
best
in
of
one
luck
piece this time
as we
round.
go halfway around the world.
Yeah, we'll have to see if these
series.
racers can tackle lap 1 in a
We have to put
smooth
the
and
liners and
efficient way,
bulletins here
avoid the
for
barriers,
you.
avoid making contact with each other,
Regarding the
which is a
comms,
heck of a lot
please use
easier
either
said than
at
done around
drivers
here.
or
It
at
is a
all
small
drivers
circuit,
in
so
from
sometimes and
iRacing.
quite often you can run
For
out
example,
of
for
space
blue flag reviews, or if
lickety-split.
you're involved in an
But
incident you'd like us
now
to
we're
look
switching
at.
off into warm-up. The calm
These are the
before
only
the storm,
channels that
before
Live
we
Race
head off
Control
into
can
the
hear
second
you
round
on.
of this championship.
Again,
These
that's the at
racers are
drivers
going to use
and
this
at
as a
all
good
drivers.
opportunity to get their bearings straight and kind of switch their attention
Go
into this
ahead and
1 hour
repeat
long
your
race
request
that
if you don't
lies
get an
ahead
immediate
with some pit
response.
stops in the midst.
Do not
We're gonna have
request
to see who's
iRacing
gonna
black flag
master the
clears
strategy
and
the
do
best.
not request
We may run into some
reconsideration or
difficulties,
explanations
but
for
before
live
we
race
get too
control
lost up in all
penalties.
of that, I think we'll do an onboard lap with our pole sitter in
Those
just
kinds
a
of things have
couple
to
of
go to
moments.
IRR.
See exactly
At least it's
how
that live
Drakowicz
stream.
was able to get around this
Use
racetrack,
the radios only
lickety-split,
for
and Howie, I'll pass it
essential
back off to
racing
you for the
related
track
exchanges and
live.
refrain from
Gotta get my
calling
blue
out the
blockers
drivers
on,
as
bro.
usual.
Across quite a long
Remember
start
not to
finish
advance
line.
to the
Really
DFB
don't need
station
long
until the
straight
gap's
to actually
position
get
cars.
on
Champagne,
this
blue
track.
blockers.
First turn is quite a
Just
slow,
maintain your pace
quick
car
one.
speed,
Should be able to
turning
bring a
your
lot of power
distances,
into
and
this, but it slows
car
down
ahead
quite a
until the
lot
green
for turn
flag.
2. Some cars with more
Most importantly,
downforce could
stay in
really
line with the
get
car ahead
around this, but it looks
and
like you
make
have to back
no
up the
attempt to
car
out-accelerate
quite a bit.
or to pass initially on the green flag until you reach the official starting line. So accelerate as much as the car ahead of you allows for,
That's a scary
but
one.
wait
It gets
until
me a
you
little
reach
bit
the
more, but it's gonna
start-finish
be
line
tricky to pack. A lot
before
of
you
cars
step out
near
of
the
line
track
to begin
tighten
passing
significantly.
and racing.
And
As
Rachel's on
always,
exit. Bill
enhanced
King
penalty
for
supply in the
five.
orange zone, which starts from the grid and ends for you
Sort of a
when you begin your
slow
second
speed
lap.
as you run up the hill.
Penalties
Yeah,
given
we're
for
on a high
violations that
speed
happen
section.
here
That track
are
has
enhanced
thinned
to a
out quite a
15-second
bit
stop
where
and
it
hold.
started,
So
though.
take
Getting
care driving
past
through
it
your
is
first
going to
lap.
be quite tricky.
From there on out, I'll
Everyone
penalties to
diving
be
in
glad
those
for
lap
you.
times over
I need to
big
drive
rest.
around and
Before
see
you
the
start for
pit
the
lane.
vote for live race control by announcing your car number,
This is the one that really comes out
telling
of
us that you're
nowhere,
going to be
and
starting from the
it's
pits,
going
we'll respond
downhill.
with any
Not to
specific
catch me
instructions
in
we
the
may
grass.
have
Only a few
for
more
you.
turns to go. 11, a bit
Proceed out of your
See if I
pit
can
stop
follow them and
when
try to learn
instructed
something.
by iRacing
Pretty
to
getting a
do
good
so.
run out of
Oh,
here.
nope, we lost it.
Regarding pit road, the pit road exits are a little bit.
Don't wanna follow him.
Really be a
They're a
race,
little
I
bit
think, of
hairy
diving
here.
and
They're
running
very
lap
hairy.
times.
But you may use either pit road
Yeah,
exit
not only
as
do you have to worry about
and
racing
go
your
ahead and exit
competitors,
at
you
full
kind of have to
throttle
race
because
yourself
cars
in the
on
sense
track
of getting
are
the good lap
expected
times, running
to
as
Damn,
slowly
I need to
as
stop
you
earlier
can,
than that shit.
Brad, and keep
for
it
a car that is
in
leading
green
pit.
from the drop of the green flag all the
For your
way
overtake,
to the fall of the checker.
respect the
Only one
vortex
driver
of danger
will
and
be
be prepared
able
to
to
back
crown
off and
themselves
follow.
Hey.
You cannot
round two
reach
winner here
Second
this
gear,
your
maybe?
axle of the
of the
overtaking
PCA
car
Challenge class.
with
Last
your
time
front
out was
axle
Brad
before
Dunn
turning.
completing the sweep.
Just
Pole
remember,
to
the whole
win.
PCA is
Very
built
easy
rapidly.
stuff from
Maybe
him.
in a
It
blind
looks easy
spot,
on paper,
there
however,
will likely
it's not
be
really the case
contact.
once you get out there on the road. So
There could be an incident,
Drakowicz will be able
and
to
it
do
will
that.
be
I'm
your
tired of
fault.
getting drive-through penalties, so I'm gonna stay
Also,
away
drive
from
easy,
everybody.
local caution,
First two
to
laps,
avoid
they give
until
harsh
you
penalties.
get to the hazard. At the end of all this, wait until we
Alright, let's try to get into the,
clear via iRacing voice comms, because iRacing is going to tell you that the race is over when it is not over quite yet. But we know when it is, and we'll let you know that the comms are
Mexico City in
open
P6,
and that you
Jonathan
may
Sasportas in
give your
P7, Robert Gallus in
congratulations
P8,
and
Tim Taplin will start this race in P9.
I don't even know if you can hear me the way you're blinking. 981. You're blinking
start
too
this race
severely.
Oh,
Start the race on the grid. You're going to have a connection problem.
I'm having a connection problem.
So 981, plan on starting from the pit.
It's me.
If you can fix that blinking problem in very, very short order.
Damn it. I'm gonna have to get that.
And we'll release you manually from pit road and see that you're not blinking any longer.
Fuck.
At the end of all this,
what's going on with the internet?
Stevenson. Bruce Froby will start in 21st.
I have a
Next
little
to
bit
him
of a
will be
post-race
Carl Best. Patrick
congratulations
Ogrier
to
will
folks
start
with
this race in
specific
23rd.
instructions for
With
the
Kenneth
I'm at the start from the pit.
Eskridge right alongside
Oh,
in
I'm an
24th.
idiot.
We'll cross that bridge when
I
we
don't
come to
have,
it. Good luck out
it
there.
plugged in.
Nearly rounds out your field, one
After the
more
race.
driver.
Hopefully
That's
they let me
Rob
start
Norwig
with
in the
everybody.
number 190 car. So 25 drivers
There we
set to
go.
grab the
My
green
internet wasn't
flag
plugged up.
in a few
My
moments'
Ethernet
time.
cable
Howie,
working.
we've already talked about the challenge of this racetrack and how much.
All right,
it's
I got
going
my
to be a
Ethernet on,
test
I'm
of
sorry.
these drivers'
The
patience,
quarters loose.
skill, and nerve. But he could say the same things about the pit entry and exit
I
that
hope
these
they let me
races will
start
have to
with
deal with
everybody.
as well.
Of course, with the mandatory pit stop, that pit entry, it really does quite curve in, cuts 12, and then the exit sends you right onto that main straight. There's quite a big gap between the front and the back of the field. It's testament to really how difficult this track is. We had 12 drivers in a second.
Ban hammer.
Off the bat, there's
Oh, you got a ban for a week? What'd you do?
There's so much time you can give up if you lose even a little bit of momentum into some of these turns. So much of the track being high speed. If you lose even a bit of speed, you sort of hit your whole lap.
Yeah, so heading
Okay,
into this
I should be good.
long race,
I think
it is
I'm
going to be
good.
a huge test for these competitors. Got a lot of
Yeah, I got
stuff that
Ethernet
they're going
going.
to have to
I don't know
juggle.
why that thing was.
I always say the term juggling with chainsaws. I think there's a lot of truth said in just talking about this combination here tonight. We'll see
Are they
who's
gonna let me
to
start?
rise to the top, whether or not we're
I
going
hope
to have
it's sorted
back-to-back
out.
pole to race winners here this season, or whether a driver like Leon Snyman, Jeffrey Block, Harpreet Beth, who was really impressive last time out in the pace department at Mexico City, or Brad Dunn, maybe he can go for back-to-back wins to get this season up and rolling. Taking a look once again at the track conditions, rather similar to what they were earlier
we'll see
on in
what's
the
going on,
coverage.
man.
19 degrees Celsius for the ambient, 22 degrees Celsius for the track 10.
Nowhere to go but up.
Babel into English,
We'll
that is
find out.
66 degrees Fahrenheit for the ambient temperature. That's 71 degrees Fahrenheit for the track temp. So that is
Are they gonna make me start
quite
from the
chilly,
pits?
at least compared to racing tires. For me,
I hope
that's
not.
pretty much perfect weather, but you know, it
How's the
takes
audio,
all
Bill?
kinds to make the world go round. But
Thumbs
most
up if
people, when they
everything's-
talk about what
sounds
compared
okay.
to me, they always say that we need to stop the rotation.
Aw, bro,
Hearing
what the
actually
hell's
as
going
well
on?
that Patrick Ogrier has not been able to join us on this formation lap. Connection issues dropping him out before the drop of the green flag, so we're already down to 24 and we haven't even turned a green flag lap.
One more note on the weather, even though we're quite close to the coast on an island, as the name
Bro.
would suggest. There is a very, very low wind speed. That's going to help when you're taking somebody's corner.
I got
high
dropped?
speed. There's nothing like quite getting hit by
Are
a
you
turbulent
fucking kidding
wave.
me?
Here comes the pace car. There's your pit entry. That is going to be tough to hit as the cars roll in for the race start.
Yeah, about to get the green flag up in the air in a couple of moments' time. And it's going to be Chris Drankovich leading us to green in that 009 car. However, Leon Snyman, that pink machine right on the left-hand side of him, has got to look to get off to a flyer as well. The green flag flies. The drivers are on their way
what the
with the
fuck happened?
stack up a little bit farther in the back. Very slow to the
Why-
line.
it doesn't
But
let
we
me
are now
start, though.
racing here at Phillip Island. Fantastic start from Dwankovich. Going to try
still
and
here.
pull out in front of Snyman. He does so comfortably into turn
Bro.
number one. Now look at Snyman feeling some pressure. He's going to get a move put on him
Why
around
did he
the
do that?
outside through turn
I
number
got
one.
Ethernet.
That
I got
was a
strong
compelling
connection now.
spot to get a move done, but it works
Oh,
out well
hell.
for Jeffrey Block, who's been able to jump his way into second. Everybody else right behind trying to slip in toe, but right as I say that for Block, he hops the
What
berm a
happened?
bit through turn number two,
I don't
and
want to
he's
quit
going
and
to
come
drop
back.
outside
I'm gonna
the
quit and try to
podium.
come back. It's not letting me in the race.
Long run down into the tight hairpin. This is really where the track
All right,
starts.
I'm joining. Damn it, I should have did this already from the get-go. This is fucking retarded.
Things have mostly gotten away clean. I should probably wait to see whether everyone's quite nailed that.
Let me try to
before I
get
say
in.
it, but I've not heard any news of a legendary wreck out here. Quite a big gap led by that P1. You talked about the great start and the stack up behind. A lot of this race, if you can just dial in your lap time after lap time, it's
Fuck
going
me.
to pay off for you in the long run.
Off for the Ethernet cable, man.
Yeah, going back to the point that we raised in qualifying a bit earlier on, talking about how you need to just dial yourself into this racetrack
I
instead
thought
of
that
trying
guy
to
said I
figure
had
out
time
what
to fix
everybody
it. I
else is
fixed it.
doing. If you could just run it clean, hit your marks every single
They didn't have to do all
lap,
that
and
to
run
me.
consistently,
All right, let's see if I can get in.
consistently around here, you're going to be golden. So we'll have to see whether Drankovic can come up to the challenge, or whether a driver like Leon Steinman is going to be the one to maybe force him into a mistake, or at least try and go for the move.
Okay.
At the end of the first lap, it's Drankovic over Steinman, over Harpreet Beth, over Brad Dunn, with Jeffrey
Okay, so they
Block, who
just
started
lapped
this
me
race in
once.
third and briefly jumped up into second, now completing your top 5. A little bit
my
farther
God.
to the back. That's Beth. Hopping the berm. Actually, no, that's Brad Dunn. My
This
apologies.
now I'm gonna be the back marker.
A slight panic attack there all through turn number 1. Brad Dunn off the back of a dominating win last time out, really struggling as he once again goes off the track through 2.
Damn, that sucks.
Very, very easy to understeer and miss and exit around here. Notice the gaps have sort of evened out up near the front. Leon Steinman got this one about 5 to 4 attempts. It was 7 earlier last lap. So it's going to be a game about chasing down his replay lap of Brad Dunn. It's very, very high speed corners. You sort of don't know how much speed you have to carry, and the braking zones aren't really clear. Makes this track a very, very difficult one for me. But even those small time losses, now it's just going to multiply because of how many...
My God, bro. Oh my
I think
God.
that's the issue that you've really got with this racetrack.
I'm already
If you
fucking
go
up.
A little bit askew through one turn, it's just going to snowball from there. Turn 1 and 2, a fantastic...
I had like no
example
incident
of
points
that.
last
He ran
race.
right through there,
This is
messed up
already
his
going
approach
bad.
into turn number 1 quite a lot, and then,
I think I'm starting
by the
this
time
race
he
off,
ended his way through
race
the
off
exit
frustrated.
two, he was just
That
drifting
sucks.
wide, and next thing you know, you're in the grass. You're going to be losing out on a lot of time, and he has lost out on a lot of time. P7 for your race winner last time out as he tries to make his way up from the brink. Right now, though, Chris Drankovic with a lot less pressure than Leon Steinman, right all over him in that 915 car. Looking like that battle for second may get intense sooner rather than later as we take a look at him.
Bro, I'm only got 28 seconds ahead of them.
The 130 car, sideways snap for him. He's going to go for a trip into the ground.
What if I have no pit stop?
Especially hard under high speed to really work out what's causing these.
Did that change the course of this race?
Break the toe on the start-finish line, by the way. Not really a strong braking zone into turn 1, so it's still hard to pass down. Already trying to break some genius. Patrick McRae also making the same mistake on a corner exit, but now there's a little bit too much power out of one of the slowest turns on the track. This top 3 have run away 2 seconds, but they're all within a chase with each other, I think.
I need to stay away from T1.
Away, and that's a wide run for half a pit laugh. That is going to quite possibly kill some of that momentum.
Yes, unfortunately for him, as a result of that moment, he has lost touch of the back of Leon Steinman's car and may feel some pressure from Jeffrey Block soon. However, Block, I think, is more worried about Vernon Messer right in tow than Block is worried about going for a move on Beth. Still very, very early on into the second round of the championship. 55 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here. Drankovic still leading over Leon Steinman, but he hasn't really been able to pull a gap, has Drankovic. It's teeter-tottered. I think it's probably been at its highest, what do you say, about 0.8 of a second teetering between that and 0.4. He really has not been able to drop Leon Steinman, and Steinman not letting him go away at all. Drankovic is still not even within an arm's reach. I think that's probably within a hand's reach as he closes up the gap big time into fourth.
Closer, and I would have thought.
Damn, you guys are catching up fast behind me.
Daring send up the inside. That
got like 5 seconds on me since our last lap.
Are going to remain the same, and Leon Steinman's going to close up. Now heading into some of the faster turns of the track, we're going to sort of have to reset this a bit. I want much draft braking we'll see again from Chris Drankovic, because we did quite a bit on one of those opening laps of the race. One more big hairpin. Not close enough this time. This gap's being held very, very, very well, though, by Leon Steinman, especially because the race can be affected by things like pit strategy later, of making something happen later, but there's still a lot of racing going on laps to nail.
Yeah, so a long night ahead for these competitors and lots of different challenges for them to try and face. I'll have to look through to try and figure out which one of the races that we have from this season is probably going to have the most amount of laps. I would say that this may very well be up there. It is a quick racetrack, this, and it is short as well, 2.76 miles as the total distance, and couple that with cars that are going through medium to high speed curves. That's always going to help. Leon Snyman, though, not helping his cause. He goes for a sideways snap and a trip off into the grass. He is careening his way down the running order, going to fall outside of the top 10. He thought he had a shot at maybe grabbing the lead. Now, however, he's barely inside the top 15.
This sucks.
I think if anything caused that, it might have been a very aggressive use of curb on the inside. You've mentioned them already, but just take a little bit too much for too long. You could see yourself spinning, and then he can't get himself back up to speed because your tires are just overheated from all the sliding around. It's just giving Chris the lead he absolutely wants. Now he doesn't need to think about anybody else. Here's another look, and he is
what a shitty start, bro.
Hugging that curve
really
so much that could affect the balance of the car, I'd imagine. Once those are hot, it's going to be hard to get back up to speed around there. Even more slides trying to rejoin the track.
Yeah, so I said this a bit earlier on in the show, and now it's really come to pass. Despite the fact that this is a motorcycle circuit, you usually think the curbs won't be too bad. They can be brutal, as that's a brutal moment from Rob Gerwing in the 199 car, pitching a car into a spin, heading down into turn at number 4. I believe that was Lisa Eskridge that he has sent into a spin. So probably not going to win any awards with Lisa or Ken either. So we'll have to see how that goes. No, another driver losing it. This time it's Harpreet Beth.
A lot of drivers around the top of this pack as well. At this point, I wouldn't count the leader out of a curse if everybody's going to keep going around like this. This one, I don't think it's the Cubs' fault, but it just seems as if these cars are liable to snap if you send a little bit too much speed into these turns. They're GT3 cars. They don't have all the downforce in the world. The rear engine doesn't really help either. It's tough out there. We're going to see a lot of this.
So another driver losing it through 2, but this time it's not the curbs doing it. The curbs can be a little bit brutal. Some of them are flat, others are very raised, and sports cars, even though they can handle the curbs a lot better than their open-wheel counterparts, they're still finely tuned race cars with some pretty delicate splitters, wings, and diffusers and floors that don't like to be disturbed in relationship to the ground too much. So one whack of the curb, the next thing you know, your car is going to try and do its best impression of a yacht. We brought on board with Brad Dunn, who learned the challenge of this track his own way a little bit earlier on. He's got a first-class view of this battle going on right now between Vernon Messer and Tim Taplin. That nearly resulted in a side-by-side fight into one, but Taplin going to have to back out of it. Messer holding on to the final
they've got to be
spot
like
as it stands right
flying
now.
around this track.
Can't afford to battle too much.
I mean,
Jeffrey
if the
Block
leaders
is starting to drop them to the tune
what are they
of now
doing,
about
like
7/10
119s?
Frankowitz, meanwhile, we were thinking that he was feeling the most amount of
crazy,
pressure out of
I'm
anybody in the
running
field.
like 130s around
That's
here.
basically
Like,
seesawed in the opposite way. And look at the dive from Taplin into 4. That nearly ended in a round of bowling. It nearly ended in a move 2. It ended in neither, but he did close up that gap a little bit, if not maybe cooking his brakes in the process.
That's the thing about
I don't understand how these guys are laying down some
and then Tim just
wrecks everywhere.
You actually get next to the car. Trying around the outside, you're not getting any momentum out of that. The inside's always going to be held, so you want to try and make a dive into the 2 hairpins. I think that's really all you have, and even then, you have to be careful not to make an enemy because
I can hear the wrecks,
always
but
be a dive.
I don't know if that's going to be enough to save my ass.
Possibly over time,
I don't know why they booted me though. Why didn't they just let me start from the pits? I don't.
At the bottom with 76 here, Keith Markson. Maybe one. But multiple battles going on around the track at the same time. Quite a few close drivers. It's just about seeing where you actually get those chances to make those passes real.
Yeah, it is still supremely early in this race, but we've already seen some storylines begin to brew. drivers that we didn't see make many mistakes at Mexico City last time around. Running into trouble here early. Drankovic's holding on to a lead, but it has not been a comfortable one, and it's not a comfortable gap once more. 1.9 seconds is his margin right now. This is John Bailey who's feeling a lot of pressure. I think he had a moment heading off through turn at number 10. Yes, he did. And actually through turn number 11. I apologize for that right there. That was like a Monty Python sketch. That was pretty funny seeing that right there. Cars going backwards. But yeah, unfortunate there through turn number 11. Kind of that medium speed kind of turn that's just awkward in all sorts of cars. There's no car in the world that can handle a medium speed corner with brakes.
And the Porsche is one of those distinctive GT3s. It just has a feeling unlike anything else, where it doesn't really have a front end, but its rear end is incredibly strong. Here's now the replay of Sean Bailey, missing the braking marker, heading out onto the grass. It's going to slow you quite a bit when you head onto the track because you bring in the grass with you for a while. And that second spin might have just been a case of getting a little bit too eager. Look at those bumps off the track, by the way. If you want to hit that at high speed, you might end up becoming a cruise missile. Is he able to even rejoin? Just about, but it's a long, slow process. Here's the battle for P2. Jeffrey Block leads the pack. He's sometimes faster than the leader, sometimes a little slower. He's got 2 cars in tow to take advantage of any mistake.
So as we continue to see this battle develop for the final 2 podium spots here in this race, still very early on, so these racers I think are just going to start kind of dipping their toes into the water, seeing what works. Tim Taplin once again late on the brakes, super late on the brakes into turn number 4, not able to.
I got scared in that quarter. I lifted way up. I thought I lost it.
Just to quickly touch on this, you mentioned a driver whacking the bumps on the inside of the final 2 turns and turning their car to a cruise missile. Our very own RaceBot TV colleague and PCA sim racing driver from the past, Mr. J.R. Gregory. I was covering a Radical SR10 race in the Radical Americas Championship about 2 years ago. We were running here. He screwed up his pit entry, lost it on turn in, and went for a trip off through the grass.
Catching up.
His car had to have gone about 10 feet of air. I kid you not. It was one of the most majestic sights that I've ever seen. And I think I nearly burst a blood vessel in my eye laughing at hard seeing a Radical SR10 just soar up into the stratosphere like that. This is Bruce Froby with a moment once again through turn number 10.
Oh, no. I wasn't paying attention.
Before we went live, the hairpins are out here. Kind of
Idiot. They're coming fast. And where's my mirror at? I don't have a fucking mirror, bro.
Not only is it quite hard to make the passes, but it can be quite hard to just keep that car on.
So dumb. Let me get out of his way.
Jonathan Saportas.
Trying to stay predictable.
Cars in tow here, all waiting for their potential opportunity. Of course, those being relatively rare, but imagine sending
here comes everybody
into one of the hairpins. Kevin Markson looks like he was going to go for it. I think everyone behind wants to sort of tee it up in case the braking markers line up.
Let me get out of these guys.
It's always a little bit easier said than done.
Let me get out of their way.
As you see, just a never-ending train.
Maybe I can learn a thing from these guys. Oh shit!
Cars running back essentially from Jeffrey Block all the way down through the field. It is not a huge gap between many of these races.
Let me see if I can learn something.
Is a top 5 compared to Robert Galis running in 6th, and even
that's
not the biggest margin that I've ever seen in my life, if I am being completely honest. The sport is running right behind, has his own troubles. That was Andrew Hillman with his troubles through turn number 10. Overshot the braking marker, ran wide on exit, and just lost out on P9 to John Kaplan, and may very well lose out on P10 to Dave Jones in the 313. He's all over the back of him. Let's see as they head their way out of the final turn onto the start-finish straightaway.
God damn, bro, I might as well just get out of this race. I'm like I'm in everybody's way.
The draft in these cars
this is fucking ridiculous.
In the world, but this is a very
I don't want to fuck anybody's race up.
Holds on to 10th for now. We jump up a little
I'm just gonna get out of here. This is fucking ridiculous, bro.
And Keith Markison still duking it out in this fight for 7th. That's a driver, a lap car running wide a little bit farther in front of them. Not entirely sure who that is there, but thankfully they get out of harm's way as they approach turn number 5. Taking a look at this replay, this is Patrick Auguer, who I think has been dealing with some severe connection issues throughout this. Already had that happen before the drop of the green flag, and kind of looked like a brake pedal failure to me. It looked very,
very
deep in there, artificially deep.
Have you ever been jump scared by a turn? Because if I could name any turn in iRacing, I'd maybe call the turn 10 hairpin the jump scare. You're going cresting over a hill, and all of a sudden you have to brake hard as you go right back down. I'm never quite used to it. I'm very used to cars without ABS as well, so that gets you
ridiculous.
even worse around here. I've seen people get caught out all sorts of ways. This race is going to keep happening. I think we're going to keep seeing some unfortunate replays today. Got made it now 15 minutes through the race. I'm not precisely sure when the pit windows are, but I'm sure it'll be somewhere around halfway. Is another
it was pointless for me to...
I think he has had a very hard day of it. He is 2 laps down. I mean, it could be hardware. It could just be getting out of the way. It could just be hating this place, which, you know what? I like it, but I understand.
This is a very sad spectacle currently. Just seeing him stop there in the grass, that is a depressing sight if ever I've seen it. I will say though, I've never been jump scared by a corner. I have been jump scared by a sock though, so I'm not entirely sure what's worse. Drankovic holds on to a 1.8 second gap at the current moment over Jeffrey Block in P2. Block, however, has his hands tied with a battle with himself, Vernon Messer, and Tim Taplin. I wonder who's going to snap here first. Is it going to be Messer going for a move on Block, Taplin going for a move on Messer, or maybe Taplin trying to go for a 2-for-1 deal? He's been quick on the gun with those heavy braking zones, really just closing up the gap in the blink of an eye. What's going to happen here first? Because I feel like something has got to break here soon in this battle up towards the front. We're nearly a third of the way into this race now, and outside of a couple of drivers losing it earlier on, it has been fairly tame for
it's all good, man. It's my fault. I should have checked the internet connection.
What's going to happen here first?
Fucked it up.
You ask if drivers are going to make moves. Maybe the game plan is just either rely on the pit stop, rely on lap times, you know, when you get yourself out of that traffic, and or just wait for people to make mistakes, because it does seem like everybody is eventually cracking under the pressure, and if you just don't do that, that's free position. Sometimes a race is just spent getting your laps done without error and hoping that the errors happen around you. Kicking out of that gap up front and slightly shrinking. It's 1.6 seconds now, but not with true consistency either. Not in a way every single lap that means a pass is inevitable. Maybe look out by the end of the race to see whether these two cars are a little bit closer on the track. It's a storyline worth following.
It kept saying Wi-Fi and I couldn't figure out why, and it wasn't plugged into.
Yeah, and we've already seen plenty of storylines develop at this point, although we still have a lot more.
I'll get on next time, guys. I don't know. I'm gonna end this stream now, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might get back on later. I don't know.
A little bit later on with these GT.
A little bummed out right now.
Has been delayed somewhat. Probably within the final 20 minutes will be when we see a vast majority of the field come down pit lane. You can maybe even boil that down to the final 15 minutes of this race. Fun fact, actually, I did mention this in the